and switching gears to you, because you're his biggest advocate. You've been beside him this whole time, and so obviously this is a loving home that they would be invited back into.
Okay.
This is not just an evil stepmom. It's blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tell me a little bit about y'all's home, the home environment that they could be in.
So I have 2 girls, and me and my ex-husband, we get along great. He gets along with him. We all get along well, and that is something that Liam and Lily, they saw and wanted for their own parents, because at the end of the day, you have to love your kids more than you hate your ex. That's the only option. And it doesn't matter how much you can't stand the other person, you have to put the kids first and what they need. And so I've done that with him, and I was willing to do that with Rachel. I'm still willing to. It's going to be hard, because when a person on the other side doesn't want that, it gets hard to keep being the nice person. But the kids are worth it. They are good kids. We love them. My daughters love them. They're fun, and they have such good energy. And, I'm really connected to them. I really am.
Yeah. It's
So
a family that
it
they-
is.
And it's not just our home,
No.
right? I mean, my parents and my sister, her parents,
Yes.
and aunts and uncles. Her aunt saw the kids every day. She worked
at their school
She
they
was
went to
a
last year.
teacher, at Madeley Ranch, and mom attacked her too. And it's just
She tried to get my aunt fired
it's just weird. Just
for some things she never did.
The conflict is not from this side. Now I will say, like I said before, I will fight to the end for my kids. But I'm not fighting for me. I'm not fighting to prove a point. I'm not fighting to win. I'm only asking for one thing, and that's let me be a father, let me be a dad again, and let me have a. I mean, if I'm so terrible, well, at least give me a shot, or and I catch myself. I feel like I'm admitting fault and taking accountability for things that I never did by just asking, can I have a step program? I don't deserve any of this. I never deserved supervised visitation. I've never abused my kids. I've never emotionally abused my kids. I don't talk negatively about their mom in front of them. I redirect all those reports. That wasn't a show. That's me. That's me and my children and how we interact every day of the week. It's not easy being a parent. It's not easy being a dad. And I know it's not easy being a kid split between 2 homes. My parents were divorced. Her parents are still married, but Rachel's parents were divorced. And Rachel's mom did horrible things to those kids to get back at her father, Randy, Rachel's father. Randy and I were close. We were like best friends. I understand protecting your children, and that's what he's doing. But there has to come a time where it's futile, and
He needs to protect his grandchildren at this point.
Stroking checks for $100,000 here and $50,000 there. The inevitable is the inevitable, and they're my children. They're not Tracy Gilbert's. They're not the Amicuses. They're not Randy's. They're mine and Rachel's. And those kids are just as much a part of me as they are her. And they have a right, a human right, to both parents. And there is nothing that this court can or has proven to deny me my constitutional and parental rights. And they have violated that. And my goal is to see it through and hold them accountable. But my goal is just to get my kids back and be a dad again. And so if Rachel's not remarried, I'm remarried. We have a stable, loving home. And it provides both sides of the equation, a mom and a dad. She will never be their mother. She will never replace their mother, but she could be a support system and as a stepmom. And Amanda has tried very, very hard to work with Rachel on coordinating things, wanting to do activities together.
Last year, I asked her, what are the kids' sizes so I could buy them clothes for Christmas. She intentionally gave me the wrong sizes, so when we gifted them their clothes, nothing fit.
And then the amicus used that against
bitch.
They used that.
Oh, listen. So in trial, it was used against that incident. So we asked mom. Now at the time, I'm supervised visitation, right? So we need shoe sizes, clothes sizes, not just medium, small, large, but like
their
10,
number
12,
sizes.
14, whatever their sizes are. And we asked that. And we asked that in anticipation ahead of time that they're going to grow a little bit. So we buy a few things a little bit bigger, right? Intentional. Now, ABC has a policy where you can't give a whole bunch of gifts. They won't allow you to do it. They won't allow you to bring extravagant gifts. Like I was there one time and a dad was rolling in a Power Wheel and they're like, no, you can't do that, which I don't agree with. I don't agree with that rule, but I understand the premise and the dynamic behind it. Because then they could say, oh, you're just trying to buy loyalty and love. I get that. But in my case, we're asking these things because we're genuinely trying to provide.
Yeah, and
I'm
not
paying,
rules.
I'm
Right.
paying,
And play by the rules.
I'm paying the max child support for 2 kids.
Yeah.
I'm paying $2,500 a month.
Yeah.
She's getting that every month. That's taken away from my family now, but I was ordered to pay it. And that's the thing, I follow the rules every time. I've never once violated any of these rules. I'm getting close to doing it. But the point is we go to court and, you know, during that visit, it's brought up that we gave gifts and we took them back. Like we did something nefarious.
Mm-hmm. But
And
I had
it's-
to.
but
I had
again,
to take the kids' gifts back,
it's
and they
the
were
same-
upset.
It's the same concept where you have all of this, what I call sleight of hand, kind of like a magician, right? You're trying to manipulate.
Change the narrative to.
And it's all manipulation away from the truth and away from the facts. And it's sad because I feel like they're kind of out of moves, right? That like,
One could hope.
I mean, my attorney Nick said it best is, man, I'm telling you, Rachel sold them on you giving up. They never thought. They thought she had them convinced that you were going to walk away and be a deadbeat dad. You proved them wrong, Carl, and
but
now
they'll
they're...
always remember that. You know, they'll always remember that you kept showing up and that you kept trying and how hard you tried. You know.
Well, I'm even talking about the professionals. He's saying that the professionals in the case kind of
well,
banked on you giving up and walking away.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as you started, when you didn't give up, and you started pushing back a little bit, and you started digging and doing your own due diligence, they're covering their ass now. And I don't know if I can say that on camera, but they are, I believe that they're scrambling. Erica Jackson has withdrawn from the case. Kayla Sommerfeld, nowhere to be found. ABC, almost not in operation anymore. Board members have changed. We've sent 3 subpoenas to ABC, just simply, they're a 501c, right? They're a nonprofit organization. What should they have to hide? Nothing. But they do.
Can we talk briefly about what they do say about you? Like Wayne was saying, I was a guy who's never been accused of abusing his kids, mistreating them or anything. How'd you go from being primary to being supervised to not having any access?
That's a good question.
What do they say about you?
Nothing.
Well, they say you've said rude things in the app to Rachel, which she
In
has.
2023.
He has in 2023 in response to her pulling their son out of the pool by his throat.
And in July of 2023, here's a good point. In July of 2023,
Yes.
my kids didn't even tell me this. They didn't tell me. They told Teresa Burbank in session,
Awful.
in a roundabout way, like, yeah, we were on vacation, So at the time, we had ordered 2 weeks and 2 weeks. So I had 2 weeks vacation for summer, and we had a 2-2-3. She had 2 weeks, and I had 2 weeks, and we got to elect when we take it. She decided to take hers in July, and she took it to take the kids with her side of the family to Florida. And during that time, there was an incident in a swimming pool at a VRBO or whatever, where she allegedly picked Liam up by the throat out of the pool. Now, my son is not a small kid. He probably weighed 80 pounds at the time. So do I think that she, and again,
Fully.
this
I don't think
this
she's
is me
fully,
being fully honest. Do I think that she grabbed him and choked him? No, I don't. But do I think something inappropriate happened that could have been avoided, 100% controllable, and she reacted in anger? Absolutely. And that's the only reason why my son didn't tell me. He was trying to protect mom a little bit. It's his mom. I get that. But he told Teresa, and Teresa, being a mandatory reporter, reported it to CPS.
Yeah.
And then that's when Teresa told me, and I did. I lost my shit, right? But I didn't threaten her. I told her simply, you're a shit mom. Keep your fucking hands to yourself. Point blank. That's what I said on the app.